What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. You already know what the deal is with me. If you don't know who I am at this point and you don't know what the deal is, I'm Mark. Go check out my other videos, of course. But this video's topic, and I do once again want to shout out my boy Adam for letting me use his 1911, especially since with the rounds I loaded it with, this works perfect for the video. So, this is essentially a gun myth that you hear a lot. I'm going to be debunking, I'm going to be explaining why it's not the best idea. Uh, the video topic, though, is why do some people mix their loads? Now, I'm sure you're wondering what the hell does that mean? Well, for example, as you guys just saw, I took two bullets out. One is FMJ, one is a hollow. A lot of people like to sit here and say, okay, let's say your magazine has a 10 round capacity, right? They'll say, oh, you should put 5 hollows and 5 FMJs in there. And I have zero fucking clue why, other than the one thing I've heard, excuse me, for an argument for it that I don't even believe is too great of an argument, and I'll explain why. The only thing I've heard, though, is, oh, well, you might need the extra penetration, you never know. And I hear what you guys are saying in that sense, I guess, but allow me to explain why it's not a good idea. So here's the truth, right? Uh, hollow points, what they do, right? And I actually went over this in my FMJ versus JHP video. Excuse me, my FMJ versus JHP video. If y'all haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out, of course. However, when a hollow does what it's supposed to and it acts how it's supposed to, when it hits its target, it's supposed to expand. So, in other words, all right, so in other words, right, this, let's say it were to hit me in the shoulder. If it acted how it was supposed to, it wouldn't just blow through my shoulder, it would expand, tearing up more of the meat and more of the, you see what I mean? It would essentially do more damage. It would have more stopping power to it than this would just blow a hole in out. Excuse me, blow a hole in and blow a hole out. You know what I mean? Uh Overall, I can understand what you're trying to get at when people say you might need more penetration. However, if you're using a caliber like 9 mil or higher, you don't need to worry about more penetration. You really don't. Uh Perfect example, 380. What? Huh? I'm about to get up to go grab that one. All right, so if you guys notice, in my LCP, there are FMJs. Granted, they are flat nose, but they are FMJs. They are not hollows. Why? Because I actually do worry about 380's penetration power. It is not the highest because it is not the highest pressured round. You get what I mean? Uh, Essentially, carrying the loads mixed like that wouldn't be the best idea because you never know if you're going to need over penetration or not. You most likely will not need over penetration, need more penetration. Unless you're using a small caliber, you most likely will not need more penetration. That is just the truth of the matter. Uh, Here's another example. Granted, this is rare. This is rare. However, it has happened before where over penetration has, a someone that used an FMJ in a self defense situation, it over penetrated, either caused some property damage or hit another person, and bam, that's what you get for wanting more penetration. You see what I mean? The entire point of using a pistol is to, well, not using a pistol, but using a firearm overall, is to stop the threat. Um, Hollows, they will expand when they hit their target, which will help stop the threat. That is just the best way to explain it. Now, let's run over all three situations real quick, and I can explain to you in more detail why this is a bad idea. Let's go with home defense, right? Home defense, let's say someone breaks in. I have a 15 round capacity, 8 rounds are FMJs, 7 rounds are hollows. I do not trust that I'm going to hit every shot. I don't trust that. I will be 100% honest. I do not trust that, and for good reason. Because even though, hey, I'm a pretty solid shot, I know that under a high stress situation, people tend to forget their training. That's just how it is. I wouldn't want to miss it, go through the wall, possibly, hit a neighbor, hit some property, whatever. That's not something I would want to happen. Now, another thing I do want to bring up is that if you're going to argue, oh, well, you need that extra penetration, you understand that not every time a hollow point acts how it's supposed to, right? There are a lot of situations where hollows have acted like FMJs. Why? Because, well, sometimes clothing can get caught in it. Sometimes, meat can. There's a lot of reasons. But sometimes hollows don't even act like hollows. They act like FMJs. So why would you not just take that chance of, okay, well, if I really need that extra penetration, I can just hope that it won't flower. Even though technically, I don't know why you would, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. So home defense, that would definitely be a no-go. Let's go with concealed carry. Once again, I do not want any form of over penetration to happen to where I somehow can cause some property damage. I can harm another person where they're not the threat to me. The person who's a threat to me, it just blew right through. It's something I'd rather avoid. Once again, hollow points, they have the stopping power you need. That is just the truth. Now, this one is going to be a bit controversial for y'all. If we were all to go to sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow and be in an SHTF situation, I would probably only use FMJ. Why? Because they're easier to find. When you find them, there's more of them. For example, you find a box of hollows, there will normally be between 20 to 25 rounds in there, where the standard box of FMJs are about 50. You see what I mean? They're cheaper. They're cheaper. They're more available. They tend to function better in firearms. Some hollows can be, real finicky. That's why you do have to test your ammo. But one thing, though, is that in an SHTF situation, we are talking, a state of mass lawlessness. I am not worrying about overpenetration in an SHTF situation. That's just how it works. If you sit there and spend all your time trying to, and think about it like this too, for even a SHTF, let's say we had more time. Let's say we didn't just wake up tomorrow in one, right? Let's say we had a countdown timer where, oh yeah, we know in 7 days an SHTF is about to happen. Cool. We're going to stock up on a bunch of ammo. What's going to be cheaper for you to stock up on? FMJs. That is the truth. They are cheaper. They are. However, mixing your loads together wouldn't even make sense in that situation. You'd be having to buy two different types of ammo, spend more money, even if you're stocking up. I still personally don't think it would make a lot of sense. Let's say you're already in the SHTF situation, mixing your loads will just not do you the best. You're going to run through two different types of ammo. And if you're sitting there worried, oh yeah, well, I need to have hollows and FMJs for an SHTF, then I don't fucking get why, personally. I really do not. That's just me. You can argue, oh, well, I need it for this. You're going to argue whatever the fuck you want to argue. It doesn't make sense. In SHTF situation, you don't need to have mixed loads. For concealed carry, you don't need to have mixed loads. For home defense, you don't need to have mixed loads. So I don't understand why people are sitting here swearing by they need to, oh, you should have, for one JHP, you should have one FMJ. No, the fuck you shouldn't. You should just have hollows, realistically. If they function and work in your firearm, have hollows. They are better. Now, if you're in a state where hollows are banned or illegal, like New York, then yeah, I can understand why you have FMJs in your firearm. That's understandable. Although that's a trash ass law. That's an infringement ass law. But whatever. All gun control laws are infringements. That's just the truth of the matter. Long story short, though, it is not the best idea. I don't know why people have, started doing this and they've gotten really accustomed to it and they're telling a bunch of people this shit, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't. There are many situations where you're going to need more penetration if you're talking a caliber higher than 9mm or 9mm itself. That's the truth. But something I haven't said yet in this video, I'm sure y'all have been waiting for this. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you're a chat and you don't mix your loads, go ahead and sit there and check out the podcast channel and Adam's channel, Centerfire Podcast, Godnut TV. Y'all know the deal. Of course, I'm going to tag both the channels in the description below. One thing I do want to say, though, before I cut this video short, I do want to give a special thank you to y'all. Y'all have been phenomenal. Amazing. I just checked my SD9 VE review. It's at 1.2K. Dude, that's insane for me. That's insane. All right, let's just keep running up these views. Go ahead and share. Tell everybody. You know the deal. Other than that, y'all stay safe, stay legal, stay dangerous. Have a good one. Peace.